And I started to link these things to a single principle, which I call the immediacy of experience principle, which is not that they can't think about the past or they can't think about the future, but they prefer not to talk about things in the distant future and the distant past for which there is no evidence. So, for example, one day I said, so who created the world? This is a good missionary question. And they said, what do you mean? I said, there were no trees. Somebody made the trees. You were there when there were no trees? You've seen the jungle without trees? How old are you? And so it turns out they don't believe anything was ever created. They don't have a concept of God. There's no need for him in their system. And as a missionary, I was talking to them a lot about Jesus. So one day, a group of men came in and they said, hey, Dan, so Jesus, did he look more like us or did he look more like you? I said, well, some people said he looked more like me and other people said he looked more like you. Yeah, but you've seen him. So what does he look like? I said, well, actually, I've never seen him, but your father saw him. No, my dad never saw him either. Well, who saw him? I said, nobody. He's lived a long time ago. Well, if he lived a long time ago and nobody saw him, why are you telling us about him? And it occurred to me that all the evidence that I had accumulated in Bible school and all my prayers and all my activity as a Christian didn't hold up to the evidentiary requirements of this group of a few hundred hunter-gatherers in the Amazon. They weren't convinced by this at all. So finally one day they came in and they said, hey, Dan, we like you, but we don't want any Jesus. We don't want to know about this stuff. It's okay for Americans. They like to believe that stuff, but Pirahã don't believe that stuff. And so